Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gallifrey Major and this is another one of the Admiralty Reports, one of your gameplays with my commentary. Now this is a submission from Eternal Abyss. He's playing USS Helena, the Tier 6 USN light cruiser. Now his commander, he's got Scott, level 15 legendary 2, skills, burn it down, XXL, igniter, armed and ready, fixated and refill station. Inspirations is Madden, mastery 16 and Roux, mastery 9. Ship mods, only aiming systems module at the moment, very early game with the Helena, so still working on what mods to add. It's a game of domination on Crash Zone, tier 5 and 6 game. On the enemy team there's a Fubuki, Pensacola, cruiser Algeria working with the battleship Ragnarok. There's a Helena, a Queen Elizabeth, a Scharnhorst and a Colorado. On the friendly team there's a Fubuki working with New Mexico, a Guide, a Nuremberg Belfast, Eternal Abyss Helena, Sinop, Ragnarok and Lion. Now he spawned on the left by Alpha and he's just checked to see what ships they are, so he's got friendly Lion and Guide with him. So he's moving over towards the Alpha objective and he's got his aircraft up now to see what's coming up. Now it's quite an interesting thing earlier where he used his lock gun camera to see what the Lion and the Guide were doing in order to work out if they're going for the same objective as well, because you obviously in Helena you don't want to be isolated, you want to be working with your team. Now looking at the mini-map, some of the enemy ships are starting to show, however Bravo is being captured, so that's a probable location for an enemy DD. So the enemy starts opening up and it looks like an enemy battleship has decided to charge straight down into Bravo, which is a bit of a poor decision really, because he's going to get fired upon from multiple angles. Now Eternal Abyss starts to round the island and is spotted, and it's the Fubuki. Now that's not where you want to be if you're Fubuki. You're cornered between the Guide with its 5 6-inch guns and the Helena with its 15 6-inch guns. Now Eternal Abyss has his sonar on and the Fubuki's torps are easily spotted, so that gives him plenty of time to dodge those torpedoes. Now there's not really anywhere the Fubuki can go because the Guide is just going to pick him up with the German sonar, so it's not going to be too long until the Fubuki is gone. And there's first blood with the first catch of the game. Now thankfully the positioning of the two smoke screens mean that Eternal Abyss isn't spotted in its current location, and you can therefore take advantage of that and open fire on the Queen Elizabeth, which is still charging around in the centre recently. A bit of a bad place to be if you're a battleship. Now watch this, but the whole time he's engaging the Queen Elizabeth he keeps checking the positioning of the Colorado and the islands just to try and make sure that he can dodge the incoming shots, but also being aware of your surroundings is quite a good play. Now here you're seeing how effective the high explosive on the Helena is at setting fires, especially with those additional abilities that Eternal Abyss has on his commander, improving the fire chance by up to 5%. And the Queen Elizabeth is just starting to go out of range, and ideally you don't want to be getting any closer to that Colorado, so it's always time to do a good bit of tactical beaching. If it's stupid and it works, then it's not stupid. So the Queen Elizabeth is a bit out of range now, especially with the islands blocking the way, but that Colorado is just pushing in against Eternal Abyss and the friendly Lion, so it's time to just try and back up a little bit, get some distance between you and the Colorado. Now weirdly the Colorado is distracted by the Lion, which gives Eternal Abyss the chance to get lots of fires. Now you're seeing quite a lot of shatters from the shells as they hit the armoured turrets. However, although shatters don't do any damage, they still have an opportunity to set fires. So there's the second fire. Now Eternal Abyss starts to aim towards the rear of the ship. It's quite an interesting play there. And what you're trying to do is get that third fire on the ship. As you can see there's a fire in the centre and the fire at the nose, so if you can get a fire on the rear of the ship, that's going to cause a bit more damage to the Colorado. Now, the damaged Colorado uses damage control party, which is not a surprise considering it had 3 fires on it. However, it doesn't take Eternal Abyss too long to relight the barbecue. So there's our first fire. So the barbecue is now officially relit. Now just aim a little bit more forward, just try and get that second fire on the front, and there you go. So now just switch the aim to the rear, try and get that rear module on fire as well. And there we go, there's the third fire, so it's well and truly relit at the moment, and the Colorado just doesn't seem to want to pay attention to Eternal Abyss. And there's a fourth fire as well, so the Colorado is gone, it's gone. Now, whether it's fluke or something, but the Fubuki's torpedoes rattle past as the Helena continues to reverse, and the Fubuki stupidly shows himself to 15 6-inch guns. And there goes the Fubuki, along with setting another fire. Well, the enemy team looks pretty shaken up. They may have the central objective and a push and Charlie objective, but they only have 3 ships, so I don't like their odds. Now the friendly guidey starts to flip Bravo. And we're in a little bit of a quiet part of the game, so we can take a look at what Eternal Abyss has managed to achieve so far. So he's managed to achieve 213 hits on targets, 13 fires, 7 of which were on the Colorado. He's also managed to get 90,000 damage and 2 kills, and the first blood medal. So the friendly guidey is just about to flip Bravo, which means that the Eternal Abyss's team managed to maintain their 2 capture points advantage over the enemy team. However, it looks like the enemy team is not going to be stopped in flipping Charlie, so they are going to still have 1 foot in the game, I guess you could say. So the enemy just starts to come into range, and therefore Eternal Abyss is able to start getting that HE back down range. He also sees an opportunity in order to get behind this island here, just to stop being spotted, and the enemy Scharnhorst is gone, so now it's 6 versus 2. Now, no one's able to spot the enemy, so now's always a good time to get that spotter aircraft up and try and look over the island. And the enemy Algeria is spotted with only about 5,000 health left. And it doesn't take long for the Algeria to become priority number 1 for the team. Now Eternal Abyss switches target onto the enemy battleship, the Ragnarok, because of the island blocking. However, the friendly guidey is able to mop up the Algeria. Now Eternal Abyss is just trying to get behind the island here in order to get some cover between him and the Ragnarok, but at the same time he doesn't really want to offer a bit of broadside, so he's trying to keep some form of angle. And ouch, there goes 8,000 health, a reminder of how thin the armour is of the Helena. Now Eternal Abyss did get 2 fires on the Ragnarok before it used its damage control party, so now it's time to get behind the island to get those fires relit. So there's number 1 with the Confederate and the Witherer medal. Here it demonstrates how the high angles of these shells are able to get over the islands, and the Ragnarok takes a heavy hit from what I believe to be the friendly Snop, and Eternal Abyss is able to mop up the kill. So that's nearly 115,000 damage, the Witherer Confederate First Blood and High Caliber medal, and not surprisingly top of the team with 2,717 ship XP and nearly 1,000 more than the next person on the team. So firstly, I'd like to say thank you to Eternal Abyss for sending in his gameplay of the Helena. In the email he says this was his third game in the Helena, but it has been sat in the emails for a little bit while I get around to doing these. Now, I'd also like to say, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you do have any of your own captures that you'd like to submit for commentary, you can send them into our email address, which is down below. Any good games like you've seen here, or even funny moments like we had last time, or even clutch plays or things like that, and anything that you think you would like to share. And obviously everything that does get submitted I will watch, and then I will work at what to do with them. So I can't say I will upload every single gameplay through, but if you send in lots of funny moments, then I can stitch them all together and we can have like a funny video. If there's some clutch plays or good moments, then I might do like a top 5 or a couple of ideas like that. Oh well, until next time, I'm the Gallifrey Major, and back to the port.